Okay.
You're live.
What do you say?
You're live and it's recording.
So I hope you can see my screen. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to IWD 2022. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Okoyemi Ayeni. I'm a developer. The theme for this year's International Women's Day event is progress, not perfection. This year, our team celebrates all kinds of progress, big or small, and the strength we demonstrate when we don't let fear hold us back from following our dreams. So often, we hold ourselves to impossibly high standards and feel disappointed when we can't reach them. Or worse, we don't even try. When we let the idea of being perfect go, we allow ourselves the space and freedom to try new things, to make mistakes, and to learn. We see that all of our experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, have made us who we are today. Instead of striving for perfection, we can strive for growth and discovery. Instead of being fixated on the destination, we enjoy the journey wherever it takes us. Our paths aren't always finesse. Our paths aren't always linear, and we may come across seemingly impossible challenges. But when we celebrate progress, not perfection, we are celebrating all we've accomplished, either it's big or small, and our inner strength and resilience that allowed us to get here. So I want us to celebrate ourselves this year. Our theme again is progress, not perfection. Thank you. I'll be introducing our speaker now. Our first speaker will be, we have a lot of speakers here. We have Eunice, we have Temi Lade, we have Elizabeth. And our mama too is there, Mama Nancy. So we are really glad to be here. Then Elizabeth Muritala will be our first speaker. She's a developer and she's going to be sharing her progress with us and many other things that's going to benefit us. So sit back and enjoy.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be here this morning. Hear me? If you can hear me, just notify through the chat session that you can hear me. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwadamilola Elizabeth, and thank you, Okoyemi, for that introduction. I'm really grateful for that. And I want to use this to Mama Nancy for giving me this opportunity to come today and speak to every one of us. We are equal. There's no not being biased. There's no superiority over anybody, and I really want to appreciate everyone coming live at this moment to this program. And the theme still remain progress, not perfection. And everybody understand that there's difference between progress and there's different between perfection. Always progress. When you keep learning, you're progressing, though you're not yet there, but you're progressing. Instead of being looking for all means to be perfect. Of course, everybody can be perfect, but we can progress. So I'll be sharing through this slide, and what I'll be speaking on is I am remarkable. I want everybody to unmute their mic. If you can do that, if you can share your video, I will appreciate that too. But if you can, just notify at the chat session if you can. And if you cannot, let me know, please. Okay. So wherever you are right now and you can hear me, I just want you to have it on your mind that you are remarkable. And for this particular talk, I want to tell everybody that we strongly condemn racism, sexism, and violence in all form. And regardless of who we are or where we are, we try to embrace all our cultures. We try to understand that we are from different country. We embrace one another. So there's no there's no racism or condemning one another, regardless of how it might be. So welcome to the workshop. We, like I said, I will be speaking on I'm remarkable. Hello, can you still hear me? Can everyone still hear me? Okay. And can you see my screen? So we'll start by introduction right now. I want you to I want you to type at the comment section by introducing yourself. It's either you send an emoji or you type your name and where you are participating. Kindly introduce yourself at the comment section, your name and what you do. So, and like I said once again, I really want to welcome all participants, everyone that is here. I really appreciate you. Like I said the other time, that my name is Oluwadamlola Elizabeth, and I'm a developer, like Opeyemi has said. I'm presently a system analyst, then quality assurance specialist. So So I really want everybody to be comfortable on this session. It's going to be an interactive one. Like I said, we are not here to claim any superiority. We are all one presently on this show. So I want everybody to be calm. I want everybody to be free, because everything we do here is inside this bus. It's not outside the bus. So please feel free to say your mind. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to interact when that time comes. Don't just feel calm at one corner and say, I won't talk. So please feel free, talk. Let's interact. Let's see how it goes. So, what is remarkable? Like everyone at one point or the other, you would have heard someone say it, or you would have heard the word remarkable. Remarkable, it's like, to me, I would say remarkable is extraordinary. Of course, many people will have different meanings to it, but me, I would say is extraordinary, worthy of attention, like something striking. When I say extraordinary, that means you've gone so far. That means you are spectacular. That means you are really doing well. So to me, I would say extraordinary. So, and like I said, have it on at the back of your mind that on this program, keep saying I'm remarkable. I am remarkable. So I am remarkable is a global Google initiative empowering everyone, particularly underrepresented groups, to celebrate their achievements in the workplace and beyond. And during this workshop, you will learn about the importance of self-promotion, that word self-promotion, in your personal and professional life, and be equipped with tools to develop these skills. So what I'm remarkable is just to encourage everyone that you are doing well, that you, regardless of the level you are now, you are doing well, because many people will feel that, okay, I'm not yet there. Then there's something called isolation. Some people will isolate themselves, thinking, I'm not yet there. So how do I equalize? How do I speak amidst many people? Okay, like this people is saying I'm this, I'm that. This person is saying I've gotten to this level. This person is saying I've made an achievement so far. This is my achievement so far. Then what do I have to say? That is why this team of IWD is saying progress, not perfection. And you see, whatsoever level you are now, just know that I'm remarkable, because at every point that we are, there's an impact we are creating. So let's learn self promotion. It's not until when you are there, that is when you appreciate the beauty of what you have now. You see, when you start appreciating what you have now, then you tend to move to the next level, and before you know it, you are there. So, so the initiative aims is to encourage everyone, but particularly those in underrepresented groups, to develop the confidence and competence to engage in self promotion. Like I said, wherever you are, wherever you meet yourself, you should not feel intimidated. You should not feel like you don't belong to that society. You should always have the confidence that, okay, where I am at least is it's a level at of its time. Where I am presently, I know I'm progressing. I know I'm not yet there, but at least many people are still far behind me who are aiming high to get to where I am. So you really need to build that confidence. You really need to encourage the self promotion. Like, you have to carry it on your shoulder. Like, feel good for where you are now, so that you won't just isolate yourself to a particular area and feel like I've not gotten there, I've not done this. So the aim of this thing, like it's clearly displayed, is to encourage everyone. Everyone, the word everyone shows even those who are presently in one underrepresented group or people like us, everyone, so that we can build up our confidence and competence to engage in self-promotion. Then challenge number two, to challenge the perceptions around self-promotion. So, like this now is saying it is not bragging, it is based on fact. I know many people at one point or the other would have encountered this. I don't know if you have really encountered this, as so many people will say, what is wrong with her? Is she the only one? What is then? And so, do you know, at one point or the other, we would have felt people are saying that behind us. Like this experience is common within community, society, that you will want to say something, I am this, and people will be like, then what is it? What is this? What is that? So this experience, it will this experience it make you realize that it is okay to talk about your accomplishment. It is not bragging, it is based on fact. Let's say you're a developer, like a full stack now, and you've done so many things. If you can still hear me, if you are flowing with this presentation, kindly say hello at the chat too. Just drop hello, then I'll know that people are following. Oh, okay. So maybe you've worked on so many things and you're trying to let people know, okay, so far so good. This is what I've done. I'm a developer, a full stack. I'm a developer for this so country. Let's say Lab. Let's say CC Hub. This, and some people will be like, and so is she the only one? Say it is fact. This is who you are. This is what you've done. That is why you have to build the confidence to share what you've done, to let people know what you've done so far. It can be a project, it can be a goal, a long-term goal. It can be so many things you've been trying to do. So if you've worked on a project or possibly you've accomplished a goal or made a difference in some way, why shouldn't you talk about it? You should be able to talk about it. Imagine someone bringing you up on online and telling you that, okay, can we meet you? Can we hear what you've done so far? Can we hear about your present achievements and what you still aim to do? Then you are feeling reluctant to say this thing. It is who you are. It is what you've achieved. So you should be happy, like you're sharing your experience with many people. Not only may doing so help you with your own career success and progress. So this is it. Let's say you're trying to let people know your experience so far. You see, what people tends to do nowadays is that they share the good side. They forget to share the bad experience too. But then let's say you've been invited to a show that, okay, tell us how you started, tell us what and what the pros and cons about all these things you've achieved today. Then you see many people are listening. Many people are at one corner listening to you. They want to hear. They want to hear the hurdles. They want to hear what you went through. They want to hear how you made it. And you see, as you're sharing the experience, another person might pick up an interest in it and be like, oh, I want to be like this person. I want to be like Nancy. I want to be like Lizzie. I want to be like Eunice. You see, what they went through is not really bad. It's something I can start. So learn how to share your experience. Learn how to tell people how you made it so far. So it's a form of accomplishment. The speaker has written a book like, when you attain any height, learn how to write about it, learn how to share it with people. So, and that move us to the next screen, which says accomplishment do not speak for themselves. Yes, imagine Elon Musk, he just bought Twitter. Okay, you see, There are so many things this man would have done that people will feel like, oh, this man is really good though. You can't just see someone Elon Musk. If you don't know about him, you will just be hearing the name. So accomplishment, like the way it is now, it doesn't speak. It is when you let people know how you've arrived to that, how you've done this thing. That is why it is important. It is an important realization to speak about what we've done so far. We cannot assume, like many people cannot assume on behalf of us that okay, this person has really make it big. When you speak, when you display, when you show others, when you carry people along, then they will know about you. What you don't say, people don't know. If you are a developer now, if you are just developing under your roof, if you are not showcasing all those development skills, all those websites you've built, all those things you've done, then many people won't know that you're a developer. And let's say, okay, for an example, I'm a developer now, and I aim to work at Andela or to work with Google, and I stay under my roof and I start thinking, on my mind, I'm a developer, oh, and one day I'll work in Andela, and one day I start inspiring, I start assuming, but I didn't show out the talent. Like I didn't let people know that okay, this is what I do. I'm a developer, letting people know. Then how do I get to Andela? How do people how do people get to know that okay, this is what she does, and okay, let's give her a try, let's employ her, blah 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 blah. Do you get? So accomplishment doesn't speak for itself, except when you let people know what you do and all that. Please hold on for me. So So, like I said earlier, sorry about that. So, like I said earlier, you have to carry people along. You have to let them know one or two things about you, how you got there. So, I'm talking about accomplishment. It is a skill. It is a muscle that needs pressing to be developed and strengthened over time. It is okay to play around with this skill. You won't always get it right, and it might feel odd. You can look for role models to mimic and learn from them. Okay, let's say Nancy is my role model, and I've been watching Nancy for over the years. I've been loving, like I love what she does. I love how she do it. Then I start equipping myself. I start practicing. I start learning. I start putting up that like, okay, this is someone I call my model. I might not really be her because I can't be Nancy, but as well I can follow her steps so that what I can also become exactly what she's doing. Of course, I can't be Nancy, but I can tread on the path she's also treading. So I don't know if anyone has a personal experience you would like to share, and maybe you can drop it to the chat session. If you have experience you really feel like you want to share with us, you can share it at the chat session, or you can note it down, because after this session we are going to interact. So this takes us to the next slide. So it says self-promotion matters. I believe everybody can see this. Being able to show and speak about our value is essential to our success. If we don't, we risk falling behind our self-promotion peers. Like I said the other time, self-promotion matters. Okay, let's say Okwe, I'll be calling names, and let's say Okwe is a data analyst, and Okwe has not been speaking about this role or what she does. And then, how do I know? If there's an opportunity, I would love Okwe to share, or Okwe to get. If Okwe has not told me, or has I've not spoken about it before, that she's a data analyst, then I won't be able to link her to the opportunity. So self-promotion matters. Wherever you find yourself, almost promote, like celebrate your little wins. Almost promote that thing you are doing. Speak about it, show it, raise your shoulder high. It doesn't mean you are being proud. It means that you are confident. It means that you are proud of where you are at the moment. Because remember, the theme is progress, not perfection. Remember, you are progressing. You might not be perfect at that moment, but you are progressing. So it's so important we show our values. It's so important we let people know our values. So, and the next slide is telling us women and men don't like, sorry about that. Women and men don't like, just hold on for me, please. Women and men don't like women who promote themselves. Hmm. It is socially frowned upon when women promote themselves. Okay. What this is saying is, okay, let's say 20 years ago, a study found that self promoting women were seen to be less competent. How true is that? Less socially attractive and less hireable than self promoting men. Since then, further research has confirmed that this is still the case. Cultural expectation, sorry, Cultural expectation for women to be modest may be more strongly defended by women than men. Cooks in the machine, women in managerial position are likely to have little or even negative effect on the earnings of their female employees. Okay, let's start. This person said 20 years ago, a study found self-promoting women were seen to be less. Yes, what this simply means is that 20 years ago, you see, there's a saying that says women are not meant to be in some position. It is men duty. It is a man role. It's not like that now. Oh. What a man can do, a woman can do better as we speak. We've seen a situation whereby a woman is the one controlling everything that is happening. See, that is why we've done so many things on gender equality. We don't want to be biased. What a man can do, a woman can do it also. So all those negative thoughts, um, um all those years back, the thought that they had on women, it's not like that now. So until we start embracing what we can do, until we start embracing our strengths, what we can do, then we keep the good word that what a man can do, a woman can also do it. Like I will want to ask some of us a question. Like you might not really say it out now, but within you, you might want to answer it. Do you sometimes struggle with people who talk openly about their accomplishments? This is either a yes or no. Like, how do you feel when other people are talking about their accomplishments? Do you feel you're lagging behind? Do you feel like, I wish I wish I'm this person, no, but how do I start? How do I do this? So sometimes it's a yes or no. It's either you embrace what that person has done because you yourself, you know that, okay, where I am today, I'm good. I'm good about it. I'm cool about it. So whenever other people are sharing their accomplishments, always make, if you are not yet there, always make it like a stepping stone. Work towards becoming one. Not that you should feel bad that, okay, this person has achieved this and that, and here I am. So, like the next slide, the race, gender, age, ability, and other identity based stereotypes and stereotypes can impact our perception about a person's competence and ability. This leads to implicit biases we may not even be aware of. Yes, you see, some people will say, okay, let me put it this way. Imagine a 19-year-old claiming he already has a PhD, he's a PhD holder, he's a doctor. And some people will be like, wow, a 19-year-old person, so young, how managed, how did he do it? Did he skip some levels? Do you get? So this race, gender, age, ability, and other identity-based stereotypes can impact our perception about a person's competence and ability. So what I'm saying is that we should not allow age, race, like I said earlier, we condemn racism. Some people will say because she's black, she's an African. Some people will say, see this white is the only one amidst us. We should celebrate one another regardless of the age, regardless of the race, regardless of the age, the gender. We should not, because a woman is doing this thing, and we should just look over it and say she's a woman. She can't change. Do you understand? These things happen every day in our community, in our society. We experience this almost all the time. That is why we are speaking on I am remarkable. Every time someone wants to put you behind, or someone wants to make you feel less of what you are, just remember that you are remarkable. Regardless of where you are at the moment, you are always remarkable. So it is not just our own limiting belief that can pose barrier. Yes, sometimes it is not. The unconscious biases held by others can also influence how they act. So that is why individually, like people who are presently here who can help me individually, what you do matters too. When you see people who are ahead of you, do not use your tongue or use your behavior or anything to make them feel bad or feel less of what they are. Let's embrace it. Start from you, it start from me, it start from all of us. Let's embrace what other people are doing. Let's embrace and and appreciate what they are doing. As aforementioned, like I said earlier, it is not just a gender issue. It is typically impact those from underrepresented groups. When it comes to race, unconscious bias can mean the difference between looking at someone of a particular race and perceiving them to be naturally talented. Some people will be like, because he's a white man, because she's a white woman, that is why she's good. Have you forgotten that the way everything is, you can develop yourself from onset and be good, even more good than someone you regard as, because that person is a white, or because that person is older than me, that is why she's doing good. No, everything is about how you see yourself or how you carry yourself. So beyond this, each underrepresented community has norms that impact how self-advocacy shows up and is perceived. Oftentimes, cultural or familiar expectation around self-advocacy will be different from and or indirect conflict with what is expected at work. This is especially true for those who are experts or working in a culture that is different than the other they grew up in. But be mindful that everyone around you has a different perspective on and expectation for self advocacy. What I think is different from what you think. What Nancy think is different from what Eunice think. Simply means how we see things is different from each other. Our perception, the way we perceive things, the way we place things on our perception is different from each other. So now this takes us to the next slide, and that is okay. I've spoken about that. Let's go to the next one. Language as a barrier. Hmm. We have to pay attention to this. Language as a those with limited word space. First language accent. Like the way you see me now, I'm an African woman. I don't have the phonetic, the hello, can you hear me? I'm here today. You see, that is why I'm different. I'm an African. So those with limited workspace, first language skills, or who have a thicker accent are often subject to discrimination. Yes, this is important. It happens, it has even happened to me. Let's be fruitful. Just keep learning. Like if you let's say Yoruba is our mother language. Yoruba is my own mother language. Some people it might be Igbo, some people it might be Tablik or Taufik or you see. So like me now, if I speak Yoruba in some places, they'll say, ah, she's from Iluoke. And you see, sometimes that will make me feel reluctant to speak more. Do you get? So and I will now be like, doesn't mean that this thing is really showing from my intonation how I speak. But then I've realized I've carried it on my shoulder that this is my own language. I have to speak it conveniently. Nobody can push me to speak English where I'm expected to speak Yoruba simply because they said the intonation is not, it doesn't sound so sweet. So be yourself wherever you are and be good about whatever you're doing. So let's move further. So we have a group exercise to do, an individual exercise, then we have it as a group too. So the discussion is now that you've heard about why this is important, the I am remarkable, and we are going to start flexing those muscles, yes. And I want everyone to think about all the reason why you are remarkable. You might need to write them down, like the way you can hear me now. Sentences about why you are remarkable. Think beyond and think, like, go back to where you started and start thinking, why am I even remarkable? Why is Lizzie remarkable? Why am I remarkable? Start writing it down. So I am remarkable because, like for an example, if you want to write it down, you might say, I'm remarkable because I am strong, I'm resilient, I am remarkable because I am bold, I am remarkable because. So that's the exercise. You can write it down, and after this session, we read them out. I have a few more minutes to go, but let's see how we can move forward. So, like I said, advocacy matter. This is like coming again. Attribute ideas, acknowledge accomplishments, ask probing questions. You that you want to become like Elon Musk, are you ready to do what Elon Musk has done? So ask questions that might take you a step ahead, that might take you further in your journey. So don't just feel isolated and just sit behind and just keep imagining. You see, some people want to eat something, they will keep imagining it. Take action. Okay, for you to eat a food, you go to a restaurant. So for you to becoming someone great, you have to ask people ahead of you, how do you go about this? How did you do this? How do you do that? And now what and what can I do? So ask probing questions from people. So so now, this take me to this survey. I'll be I would like to share my screen now for everyone to be able to, like another screen. When you click on this, when you go to your URL and you type this Google slash IAR survey on your URL, any of the browser, either Chrome, but I would advise you use Chrome. There is a facilitator ID that you will need, which will make me share my screen to that place now. Please kindly hold on. I want to take you to another screen. I would love to take you to another screen for you to write down, for you to write down the URL. And if you can see my screen, just navigate through the chat box and say, yes, you can. If you can see my screen, if you can see my screen right now, okay. So this is it. To access the survey link, kindly input this URL to any of your browser and fill the survey. Like what you can see now, Google I http Google IAR survey. Then the facilitator ID is N, capital N 413737. So I hope everyone has written this down. I need to know if everybody got that. Google. If you can see it, yes. So you can write it down. At the same time, for the few minutes, you can quickly go to your browser and fill the survey. Don't forget the facilitator ID is N413737. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do how to get ahead, how to keep saying you are remarkable anywhere you get to. I am remarkable. You can say it anywhere you are that you are remarkable. I am remarkable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. You've gained anything and you just feel like you want to tell us what you've gained, you can also drop that in the comment section. And I'm sure you gained something. I gained more, enough, a lot. So our next facilitator is Eunice. Eunice is a front-end web developer, the pioneer member of this community. She has always been with us. She's always available. She comes through all the time for us. So let us welcome Eunice. Eunice, over to you. I can't wait to hear what you have for us. Yeah, Eunice.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you all for the opportunity. It's great to be here once again. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Eunice Sinisugurinde, and I'm so excited to be here for the 2022 Women Tech Makers team Progress Not Perfection. So, in order to not to take so much of our time, I'll go straight to the slide onto what I have to talk about today. Okay, just give me. Um, okay, okay. Can you all see my screen? Okay, I think if you can see my screen, you could just drop on the chat box that yes, you can. Okay. Let me share. Can you see my screen now? Okay, let me share again. Okay, yes. Okay, so how about now? Think. Okay, yes. Okay, so as Okwayemi said, I'm a front end developer, and it's so good to be here again as a member of the WTM Akoko community. And today we'll be talking, what I'll be talking about is going to be how to strive for progress, not perfection. That's 7 strategies. It's adapted from sure SaturdayGift.com by Christina Morero. Okay, so as the theme of the WTM 2022 is progress, not perfection, we all know, like, if in your own words, I don't know if you can hear me, in your own words, can one or two persons just, in your own words, what can you say progress is? Or what can you say progress is, like, in your own words? Anybody can just drop it on the chat if you're following, even if it's just a person, in your own words, what progress is. Anyone? um you could drop it on the chat. Improved, okay. Okpe said development towards an improved or more advanced condition, which is very right. Progress can be termed as development towards an improved or more advanced condition. Also, it is also the most favorable condition or highest level, meaning gradual steps forward, moving ahead in a process, change on development. And we can also ask ourselves, what is perfection? It's like meaning without flaws or defects, faultless, complete and pure. When we say something is perfect, then that thing is absolutely perfect. There is no single flaw in it, like as we use the word every day. So today we'll just be looking at 7 strategies on how we can strive for progress in our careers as women, and not specifically perfection, but to ensure that we're actually moving, we are growing in that specific field or career path that we have taken. Okay, and the first strategy is quit when needed. Not all goals require completion. Like it is being said, like the way we have it here is like quit when needed. Not all goals require completion. I think most times every year, or majorly most times every day, if not yearly, we set goals for a day. Like, okay, this is what I want to achieve in a day. I think the ones we set in a day, there are things that we try to achieve, but most times in a year we can say, okay, for this year I want to be able to do this, I want to be able to do that. Like, it's essential to withstand the temptation to follow one path and turn away from another without taking the time to evaluate them in the context of your overall goals. We should always know that not all goals require completion, because something is necessary doesn't mean it is worth doing. Okay, you might have the example of, okay, I want to learn this particular, these are the list of languages I want to learn. But you can sometimes, okay, as a front end developer, I want to learn React JS this year, I want to learn Vue JS this year. And then, okay, these are goals that will help you improve as a front end developer. Then another time you'll be like, oh, I want to go to another language. Probably you want to learn Node.js that has to do with the back end, or you want to learn PHP. These are things you would like to do, but if I thought you just have a little understanding about it, it does not mean that you have to know all and complete it, and complete the whole language just because you have interest in knowing part of backend. It does not mean that you have to complete in achieving that goal for for that you've set for yourself. If you find yourself dedicating a lot of time and effort to something that doesn't really matter, most times it's better for us to just reevaluate our goals. And like I said, that it is important not to confuse an ideal outcome for a realistic one while setting our goals. And the second strategy is accept errors. Not all flaws are fatal. And like I wrote down, it is important to distinguish between minor and major problems when working towards change and improvement. That is, as we progress every day in our careers, we should always accept our errors, accept our flaws when we are being corrected. I think most me as a front, I'll be giving myself as an example most times. Like, me as a front end engineer, most times that there are sometimes when I write my codes and my other colleagues will be like, Eunice, it's not organized. Eunice, learn to do this, learn to do this, learn to arrange your code neatly, learn to make sure you break it down into components so you have your files smaller and all that. If I don't accept them, if I don't say, okay, I will, then I won't get better. I won't be a better developer. Next time, I won't learn the ethics of writing good and simple code that is readable, and everybody that opts onto the code can read it and understand what I'm writing. So we should be able to accept when we are being corrected, and this will enable us to progress in whatever we do. If we find ourselves repeatedly returning to a creative problem with a tiny change for another, it's time to ask if the problem is really important enough to justify all the major work. Sometimes minor problems can be fixed without dramatically changing the overall structure of our solution, while major problems signify that the whole system needs to be rethought and restarted. That's the difference between the minor and major problems I pointed out here. while working to change and improve the way we do things. The third strategy is we should always learn to give ourselves credit when credit is due. Not all our achievements needs to be perfect. We don't need to, okay, this year, maybe at the end of the day, at the end of the year, we now sit down and look back like, okay, what have I actually achieved with the goals we started with? What have I been able to accomplish out of all these goals I set? What were the milestones I was able to reach? How was I able to do? How good and how well have I progressed in my career and all? So we need to, at the end of every day, learn to sit down and be like, oh wow, I really did this. We don't even need to have everybody telling you you are good at something, you are very good. Or sometimes you have to appreciate yourself and know like, oh wow, I did this. And not until you are very, very perfect or become a senior engineer, like most people are attaining to be, even you being as a junior developer or being a junior engineer, you could always sit down and give credit to yourself if you have made some progress towards your goal, but or not everything has been completed. It's okay. Our goal, we should always know that our goals are meant to be challenging, and they encourage us to keep moving forward. As long as we are making efforts, it's always good to appreciate ourselves and to tell ourselves well done whenever we have achieved something. So the fourth goal, the fourth strategy, I mean, is okay, don't be afraid to try. Like what I wrote, and it said, if you have never taken any chances or risks, how can anyone tell you what you are capable of? Sometimes as we try to grow and how to improve in our career, we will always want to try new things. Sometimes there's this there's this thing, or should I use like a way, if a place of comfort we have when we are getting good at something. For example, if as a developer, as a front-end developer, you're very good in writing Vue.js, and they tell you that okay, Vue.js is very good, but it's not the current technology that as is in vogue for front-end developers. Why don't you learn React? Okay, because you're already used to learning and writing in Vue.js for years, you have years of experience in it, but you are scared, or although because you are not sure, although they have similar characteristics. So if you've been working with Vue.js before, you can always grab to React. But going for it, okay, let me give it a try. And okay, for my next job that I want to go into, I want to get a React job. We don't need to be scared. Sometimes we can just go ahead, learn the basics, and give it a try, and take the next dream job that we've always wanted for ourselves, just to learning that language. And we'll see that when we try to do something, and at the end of the day we realize that as time goes on we get really good at it. So we should learn to take risks, no matter how we feel that, oh, maybe I'm good with this already, or that we should always learn to take risks. We should also know that feeling fear when we are fearful is natural, that the key to overcoming it is to pushing through it one step at a time. We should keep going until we have reached the point where we have mastered that skill, and we should keep going and just keep trying regardless of the fear or anything that is trying to weigh us down. I hope we're all following. Please, if you're following, you could just drop on the chat and say yes. Oh, great. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, so on to the next strategy. The fifth strategy is step back and ask why. Like I said here, you ask yourself that if all else fails, take a step back from your work or goal and examine how it serves your long-term interests and dreams. Sometimes you have to as we try to progress and try to, as women, to make sure we progress in our career, sometimes we should always try to sit back and ask ourselves, okay, why? We'll ask ourselves, is this thing I'm actually doing important to you? Like, if so, what does it mean to you? If not, why are you doing it in the first place? Like, okay, like what is in trend now? Okay, everybody wants to be a developer, everyone wants to be an engineer, but truly, if you're actually developing, if you're actually, are you really happy doing it? Even if, okay, something is driving you and everything, the money and all that is driving, but you have to also sit back and like, is this what you really want to do? Are there other areas in tech that you can always dive into and you know that you're more comfortable with? And then you will know that, okay, this is actually helping me to move closer to what I actually see myself in becoming in 5 years time, in 10 years time, that it aligns with not just my current goals, but what I visualize for myself in the future. Like in the future, that's my dreams and what I hope to achieve as a person. So we always need to step back and think that, oh, what I'm doing is right. It might sound very simple, but just because we are used to something doesn't make it valuable. It's very important for us to step back and review our most basic assumptions about lives from time to time. Most sometimes the solution to the biggest problem is right under our noses. We just have to know how to recognize them. So as times goes on, as we strive learn to strive for progress and not perfection, we should always step back and ask ourselves why we are doing what we are doing, and if it aligns with our future goals and dreams. And the sixth strategy is change your mindset. Okay, it says be happy with the progress you have made. Don't compare yourselves with others. Like it says, like progress is not always made in a straight line. Often it can be two steps forward, one step back. Nothing wrong with that as long as you continue. Most times you don't need to compare yourself, okay, because you started development and then you see fellow women like you are already senior engineers and very doing very good, and you are still a junior developer, but you don't need to actually envy other people and then compare yourself to them. Why they might have been working for years back, way before you, that doesn't mean you can always get there. To ensure that you're as long as you're progressing, you'll always be happy with where you are, not comfortable, but being happy, like at least I'm doing this and I'm pleased every day, I'm working towards becoming the person I've always wanted to be for myself. So we should always learn to change our mindset and not to always compare ourselves with other people. And the next strategy, that's the last but not the least, definitely, is be grateful for what we have. Like what we have now, we should always take time out to reflect on everything around us that makes our lives wonderful, and we should not forget to thank those who make our lives great. Like at the end of I will always use the year, because most times it's at the end of every year, most times we tend to reflect of what we have been able to achieve for the year. So we should always learn to be grateful. Okay, was I able to meet the initial goal I've been able to set for in the first strategy? Have I been able to accomplish this? And just be grateful. And most importantly, like as especially as women in technologies, definitely we had people that encouraged us, we had people that are like our mentors, we had people that pushed us into becoming where we are today. We should always learn to thank them, we should always them to appreciate them and know that, oh, without you or through you I was able to do this, I was able to do that and all. And we should always be grateful in what we in everything that we have. We should also focus on what we do have can help us to find happiness even in difficult situations. We should take time out to always reflect on everything around us that makes us wonderful, and we should always learn to be grateful. We should always learn to be grateful. So That's the last strategy. But in conclusion, I would want to point out some few things that in pursuit of perfectionism, it can stop you from becoming who you dream of being. So when we learn to focus on being perfect, it even makes us to derail from the path, the goals or the dreams we want to achieve from ourselves. Most times it can leave us feeling unsatisfied with our work and decisions. It can take away the joy of reaching our goal. We might not be enthusiastic in doing the things that we are meant to do. It can give us the inability not to be active. That's when we try to strive for perfectionism. It can even make us to mix the bigger picture of what we are meant to do, what we are meant to focus on. We'll be focusing on another thing just because we are trying to okay, I want to be perfect, I want to be perfect. It can also lead us to self-sabotage, that in the sense that we might subconsciously do things that stop us from achieving our goals, because deep inside us we don't we don't think we deserve to enjoy the success. So we should always learn to focus on progress instead of trying to achieve perfection. And while we strive for perfection might not feel like the right way to go, we should actually try to achieve our goals by building our progress instead of giving up when things doesn't seem ideal. When we are progressing and we are trying to get to where we want for ourselves, it might be like, it's taking time. It says there's a saying that says slow but steady wins the race. It's not how far, it's not about the time, but as long as you're making the progress, you surely get there and you surely get to the goal. Like, it's hard to keep working on the project, it's hard to keep working on that dream, that goal, that project, that idea, or learning something that at first seem difficult when you do not see the immediate result, especially when starting out as a developer or an engineer. It could be so very, very frustrating at the beginning. But when you are in the process of creating something or improving yourself, it's easy to easily get discouraged and feel like giving up. But achieving a goal by building on progress is better than stopping because things aren't perfect yet. At least you are moving in the right direction. So we should always know that if we strive for progress while trying to achieve a goal, it will keep us going. And also, if we strive for progress, it will be easier to reach our next goal. If we strive for progress, it will make us to focus on things that we actually want for ourselves. And when we strive for progress, not perfection, we learn to accept our flaws and tolerate imperfection in the progress, whereby whenever we are being corrected, wherever we are being we know that this is where I'm faulty at, we'll be able to accept it and change to become better persons. And it helps us to celebrate the small wins. That, in summary of our 7 strategies. And also focusing on our progress helps us to improve our ability to tolerate the discomfort, frustration of trying something new, challenging, and complex. And striving for progress always win in the long run. No matter what, there is always this win-win. We will always win, and we will always sit back and be like, yes, I made it. And we'll always be happy with ourselves. So as we proceed and as we go on about our careers, about our day-to-day activities, we should always learn to strive for progress and not perfection. And at least we always sit back and step back at the end of the year and like, oh wow, thank God I'm able to do this and I've been able to achieve my goal and dreams. So thank you. That's all. Thank you very much. I hope we all gained or learned one or two things there. If you have questions, think you have like 6 minutes left. You can drop on the chat if you have questions, comments, questions, you could feel free to drop it in the chat so we could take them. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. If you have any question, okay, guess no question. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. So, okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Okpe, for this opportunity. Thank you, Nancy, and the entire WTM Akoko. Thank you. So this, I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope we have a wonderful experience as we proceed. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Eunice. I
Thank
am,
you.
oh my God, like I'm short of words already. That's so great. That's a great presentation. Thank you very much. If you have any question, any comments, please drop in the comment section. Thank you, Eunice. So our next speaker is Temiloluwa. She's a program and talent manager. She's the founder of Ruby's Technology and an organizer for GDG Ogbomoso. Yeah. So please let's welcome Temiloluwa on stage.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if you can hear me very well. Please just confirm if you can hear me. All right, thank you. I'd like to appreciate WTM Akoko for the opportunity to speak at their IWD. And I also like to appreciate and celebrate everybody listening to us from every part of the world. So because it's a YouTube live and I probably don't have access to the attendees. So if you're watching on YouTube currently, can you just drop a message on the comment section so that I could acknowledge you and give you a shout out while we start the session today. So I've joined the program since it started and I've learned a lot from the two speakers we had earlier. That's if I didn't come late because I was certain we have had two speakers since I joined. The first one was on I Am Remarkable, and it was really a great section because I learned from it. She told us about how to find ourselves confident anywhere we are. We should not have reasons to think low of ourselves. That high esteem feeling, we should always carry it around us all the time. And then listening to Eunice, if I'm right now, the second speaker, I was like really wowed because she was like she was dropping the points for us, and it was really something I was enjoying. Listening to her talking about, not just looking for the perfect time to get something. It's also about the progression, like how are you progressing in what you're doing. She also talked about feedback, listening to people, knowing. I'm still expecting people to comment if you're watching us on YouTube, just anything for me to like see and know that okay, it's not me and myself in the studio. There are people also listening to me. So she talked about all those things and I really enjoyed. I learned from it. And I hope you've also learned from it because the purpose of this event is not just to, host people together, but to also make sure that people are motivated and inspired. Because there could be someone there that is just, confused and don't know what to do next because of the pressure here and there. So the event is to make you lighten up. And unfortunately, I'm also not going to be giving a technical talk. It's still going to be the inspire to perspire thing. Um, I am if I'd known, I probably had spoken on program management, but unfortunately, I'd already prepared my speech before coming, and it's still related to talking about how to start a career. So I just hope you also enjoy and learn from one or two things I have to say. I would have preferred not to share my slide because I would have loved the conversations to be interactive. But unfortunately, I think our attendees are shy. If they're not shy, I don't know why they are not commenting, or maybe I'm not seeing the comments. I was thinking the comments from YouTube comes pops up to the stream yard. But not to waste our time, we're just going to it straight off. So my name is Temnoloa, as earlier mentioned, and I'll be talking today about starting a career in tech. I understand that some of the people attending this event are probably first timers, like you're probably not experienced with anything in tech, or maybe you're just there and you don't know what you're doing. So I'll just be talking about starting a career in tech. Now, I'm not saying starting a career in coding, I'm not saying starting a career in programming, but I'm like generally in tech because there's a lot to do with tech than just coding and programming. But a lot of people, because of what we hear and what we know online or what we see around us, we are more familiar with coding and programming than any other thing. And whereas there are other places, there are other field in this tech that you could also try. So I'll be talking about starting it generally. So I'm not being specific, although I might be biased because of the environment I find myself, which is also coding. But what I do personally, I don't code um day and night. I rather do the other part that is not coding, but I work with technical people. Although there had been a time in my life that I've written a lot of hello world and every other thing that makes somebody a programmer. But along the line, I found out what I'm better at doing and where my strength lies, and that's what I currently do. So to start the talk, it's just like you need to find yourself first. So I'll share my slide. It's not as colorful as the ones we've seen earlier. So if you can see my slide, just let me know because I'm trying to. Oh, I think I don't know how they share. Okay, share screen. Okay, okay. Wow. Sorry, I'm trying to fix it. I have some. Oh my god, it might be difficult sharing. I don't know if you can see my screen. Please let me know. Hello, can anybody hear me? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm having security issues sharing. So I'm trying to find out if you can see my screen. If not, we'll definitely do it without the screen. But I wanted you to just follow my slides and it's a little bit difficult. Okay, maybe I'll just continue. It's technical than I thought because of the old privacy settings from my device, and I've probably not used stream yet to share my screen before, so it's giving me. Okay, I think I got the hang of it. Oh my god, it's still coming up. Sorry that I'm taking time to do this. So, but like I was saying, I'm so sorry. Just give me a few minutes to try to fix it. Um, so knowing where you fit in, like that's the best bet. Like that's the best thing you can do for yourself when you're starting a career in technology. I know some of you have probably started learning HTML, CSS, or somebody told you about Figma or any other thing. But the fact that your friend is doing well with Python or your friend is doing well with Figma does not mean you do well there. So what if you are the kind of person that does not like um that cannot be creative with colors, that cannot, you know, you can't just, you don't have that grace, let me use the word grace, to mix colors together, be creative when it comes to adding colors together. You're not even the color type and all that stuff. How do you want to do well in that field? Fine, your friend is there because maybe she find comfort doing that. Your friend is there because it's making her fulfill her goal and, you know, whatever she has planned to be for herself in life. But for you, you have to first of all find yourself. That's the best thing, because some of us, if I ask some of the organizers that have probably been in tech for a while, someone like Nancy or any other person for 5 years and above, like 5 to 10 years and the likes, they probably didn't have the opportunity to you know, think through the process, like think through, okay, what is required of someone to be a data scientist, what's required of someone to be a web developer, a front-end developer, back-end developer, you know, what do I have to have within myself to do all these things. They didn't have the opportunity. I also didn't have the opportunity, but now it's just everywhere. Like you could just Google, you know, traits of, can Google as simple as trait of someone that wants to be a programmer. You know, programming has to do with a lot of thinking. You might even have to be good with numbers and all that stuff to really do well there. Are you capable of doing that? What if you're the type that you'd rather do, you rather be creative with just doing colors, you know, arranging things together, making things look perfect, creating the design, you know, what people will see, and not necessarily like writing the critical logics behind that design. You know, so knowing your personality, knowing what you're good at is key to. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to share my screen. It's telling me to restart my device, but I don't want to, because if I do, I'll be locked out of this meeting. So I don't know, Nancy, is it okay? Or I think somebody, Damlola introduced me. Is it okay for me to continue without sharing my screen? Can I like continue? All right, thank you for that. So So, like I was saying, I'll be reading my slide from this space. Know what you're good at, know what you're comfortable with. You want to progress, that's the goal. Like we'll be talking about the theme for this year's IWD is progress, not perfection. So that's the most important thing. It's not like you want to be as perfect as your friend. That's why you are getting into technology. You're not here for the wrong reasons. It's something that you have to look at. So, like I said, my topic is starting a tech career as a female. So there's this quote from Shaima Faustin, which says that if you don't learn digital and soft skill of the 21st century, adapting to the future challenges will be difficult for you. Start reinventing yourself today, otherwise you risk becoming irrelevant in the future economy. So what that simply means is that I know that there's somebody here that is like probably saying, I don't think tech is for me because, you know, I'd rather do this, that than do tech. Tech is not for everybody and all that stuff. You might be right and you might be wrong, because even in, let's say, banking and finance now, there's a lot of technology that has been introduced into the system that maybe the regular thing is, yeah, it's not even, maybe there's cryptocurrency now. And imagine someone that probably studied banking and finance saying that I don't want to do anything with tech and all that stuff. Who knows, maybe in the next 10 years, 20 years, we'll probably not be dealing with cash or even transfer, and you know, this might be crypto and, you know, crypto alone. So how does that kind of person thrive? So that's what this person is saying, that the best thing for you is to start now if you've not started before, because you're scared or because you think you've tried something before and it's not working. You've tried to learn coding and you feel like coding is not for you. Yes, you're right. Coding is not for everybody. And that is understandable, because but one thing that you don't know that I've come to tell you today is that um coding might not be for you, but there are other things that are in tech that are for you. and that you try very well at. So it's not only coding, it's not about coding, it's just a lot, and I'll probably list some of those things that you can do today, but I will not list all because I don't even know all. Every day there are new technologies. So these are the questions you ask yourself when you want to start something, any career, even if you want to become a fashion designer, whatever you want to do. Ask yourself that what do you want to do? So you've already made up your mind that you want to do fashion design, and that's like, this is like the biggest question to ask yourself when you want to start a career. Why? What do I want to do? So I want to be a web developer. I want to be a mobile developer. Maybe you're the type that just do well with you see mobile applications and you love them. You love the complexity. You love the fact that you move from one page. Something is just so interesting about mobile applications to you. I want to become a mobile developer. Or you want to be a data scientist. You're good with numbers. You're good with you know analyzing things, and you want to put a computer into that your skill. Yes, you already know what you want to do. So after knowing what you want to do, the next thing is, why do you want to do what you want to do? I've even explained that in what you want to do. So you already know that you want to become or maybe your parent will be telling you that you're going to be a good doctor. But why do you want to become a doctor? That's the next question to ask yourself. It doesn't even matter if you already started studying medicine. You need to still ask yourself this question. So it doesn't matter if you started learning programming. It doesn't matter if you've started learning Python, Java, HTML, CSS, React, and all the like JavaScript and all that. The question you should now ask yourself is, why am I doing this thing? It doesn't matter if you're already learning Figma. It doesn't matter if you're already learning how to product management, and every of these things that you just see online. Every opportunity you see, you jump at it because everybody's doing it, because my friends are doing it. I don't want to be an entity. At the same time, when we are saying that it's progress and not perfection, we're not saying be perfect, but we're saying that whatever you're doing, make sure there's a progress in it. Don't think that, oh, now that it's not about perfection, I think I can do small of product management and jump into small of UI UX and jump into another of that. No, that's not what progress, not perfection means. It simply means that whatever you're doing, make sure you're progressing at it, whatever you're doing. So it's not about jumping about. You pick something, you pick a stack or whatever it's called, a field, a career, and you're like, okay, I want to progress. But why are you doing that thing? You need to ask yourself. The first thing is the what, second thing is the why, and the third thing is the how. How do you want to achieve this thing? Now I want to become let me look at something I've never done in my life before. I don't even know because I really dive into a lot of things in life. But okay, I can't remember anything particularly now. Okay, let me say I want to write React. I've never written anything React before in my life. Now, how do I get to do this thing? Of course, if I go online, how to start coding in React is there. But with my understanding, I think that anybody that wants to write React is very good. They start learning JavaScript, at least a little of JavaScript. I'm not sure if I'm right, but if I'm wrong, anybody can correct me. You probably need to understand the basis of JavaScript to really understand what is happening in React. So if you don't know how, if you just go online, how to start React, of course, the internet will give you a lot of information and you end up being confused. So how do you get this thing done? How do you go about being successful in this career? You have to find out. And there are many things also online to find out. Example is being in the right community. That is what this IMWTM as a whole is about. It's a community to guide you, to make you progress in your field. Just look at it. I think Eunice is part of the community and she's probably into web development. If from what I heard from her, I'm not sure. And then you want to become a web developer, maybe front or back end. I don't know if she's doing full stack or whatever she's doing. We want to be a web developer. It's something that is easy that you reach out to her in the community that, please, can you guide me? I want to become this particular thing. Can you pull me through how to start my career? So that opportunity is there for you in the community, and that's what you will not have if you just go around. So still buttressing on the point of starting the career, the first thing is know what you are interested in. I've said something about that before. Tech space is just filled with so many things, opportunities, but to be successful in this space, you have to know what you want and dive into it. Once you know what you want, that thing will be pushing you. You'll just be moving. But if you don't know what you want, that's a challenge. If you're just here, Titi is doing this, Chiamaka is doing that. You will just be confused. You'll just be, but you have to close your eyes sometimes and just speak to yourself. Like I will speak to myself now, Temiloluwa, What exactly do you want? And why do you want this thing you want? So know what you're interested in. I think interest push people, even when you are tired, even when there are so many bugs in your code, because this is what you want, not because you're here because of the salary they told you they get here, or because they said people that are in tech used to travel out. People are in tech for a wrong reason. So far you're sure you're not there for a wrong reason, then you're fine. So what are the skills you could do, in tech? Because now you know what you want to know what you want, right? You could do coding. I've said it earlier, you're good with thinking and a lot of other stuff. You do well in coding. You could do digital marketing. If you're the type of person that just love marketing, if you see something you know how to easily convince people to buy, why not digitalize that your skill? That's something else that people are making money from. Even Google, whenever they release a product, they need marketers to market the product for them. So if you think that digital marketing is not something that is everywhere, then you are wrong, because every company, every organization needs somebody to market their product. So it's a skill that can't be lost. So far, you know what you're doing and you're good at it. We have graphics designs, we have UI UX, we have search engine optimization. That's still related to marketing in a way. So you have project management, you have cyber security. This is a field that people don't look at, but there are a lot of opportunity in cyber security. Like, people get opportunity there within and outside the country, because it's something that people don't really welcome. If you're the type of person that love protecting things, you love things to be protected, that kind of, just try to know yourself. I'm not saying that because I like numbers now, or because I like thinking, it automatically makes me a programmer. No, I'm only saying these ideas will make you know what you'll be good at. In case you're already in the wrong career, it's an opportunity for you to look back and look at what you're honestly good at and what you'll be true to yourself doing. Social media strategists, you are the type that you always like to be there, you always like to be the face, you always like to what they call influencer now, but influencers are directly not social media strategists. So, but you can read more about what that means. Then community managers, you love bringing people together and making them achieve their goal. That's a good sign to know that you'll be a good community manager. So the next thing, again, aside from knowing what you want, is, again, know why you're interested in that field. And I've talked about it. I don't want to talk about it again. Or let me just say, after picking your interested field, you have to answer questions on why you picked it. There are diverse reasons for picking a skill, and there's no particular reason why you should choose a field. So even if there are so many reasons why you feel like you'll be a good programmer, you should not say this is the only reason why I'm a programmer. So when that reason is no more there, what happens to you? So if your reason for doing community management is because you like bringing people together, if for some reasons, maybe because people you bring together, they hurt you, they make you angry, then you now hate bringing people together because of what people have done to you, would you stop it? So in as much as I'm saying that, start it, it's always confusing, because people say it's this way, and they say it's, even if I'm saying it's this way is not the only way to life, right? But I'm only saying that, just make sure you are convinced enough. Don't use just one thing to conclude that this is what you're good at. Let me read that again. After picking your interested field, you have to answer questions on why you picked that field. There are diverse reasons for picking a skill, and there is no particular reason why you should choose or pick a field. Your reason for choosing graphic design could be that you're creative and you love to design. Some other could be that you love colors, and others could be that they want to create something out of their imagination. At this point, you need to know what works for you. So don't stereotype it. Don't keep it to one thing. So the next thing we want to talk about is know how to kickstart, you know, in that field. The thing is, this tech space. Sure, the tech space is filled with so many attractive opportunities. But to be successful in this space, you have to know how to get to your top of your game. That's when I talked about reaching out to people in your community, people that are ready to mentor you, and they will not collect money from you. You know how much a lot of people pay for mentorship, but community will give you that opportunity on the platter of gold. So that's why, in case you are a member of this community and you've not been making use of the opportunity you have, I think it's a good time to start making good use of that opportunity, because you have great people here, both females and males, that are ready to give you that time to help you, to see you get to the top of your game. So make use of. I think that's the best example I can tell you. To start a career. That's not the only way. There are other things, but I think to be properly guided, yeah, if I'm allowed to use that word, it's to meet the right set of people that will put you on the track. So it's also the point to start familiarizing yourself on how to be successful and exceptional in your chosen field. You will need to outline your short-term and long-term goals in your choosing field. So you want to become a software developer, hardware developer. There's something like hardware developer, although they call them hardware engineer, but I'm just using that word because what we are used to software developer. What if you're good with, arranging things together and making them work? You might go you might be a good robotics engineer. That's something that is not really common here. Maybe because robots are not cheap, and they're not produced here. They're majorly shipped into the country and very expensive. So that could be the reason why we don't have. But we have people that do it, and we have people that they build themselves in that field and they get the opportunity to go outside to study because they are not just too much here. So the field is now open for them. So whatever you're good at, you're probably studying electrical engineering, and you're not seeing yourself really doing the whole code. You know, yeah, you could learn it, but still look for how to do something, hardware like in the tech space that will keep you there for long. When you go to big organizations that work with robots, it's different of people that arrange the robots, instead of people program the robot. So there's opportunity for everybody, honestly. Just know that one that works for you again and again. So I just saw a message now for the first time. Welcome, Adiola Busayo. We are excited to have you here. All right. So one of the things you do to start is to get a platform to learn, get to reach out to WTM Akoko, and ask them, how do I start? What platform is the best? So, for example, if you want to start project management now, because that's my field, I would advise you take a course on Coursera by Google, the digital skill training. It's there 7 days free, and I think $14 after that. It's a course you can finish in 1 month if you are committed to it and you're not too engaged. So that's a good space. See the way I just gave you a direct thing to start what you want to learn. So if you're actually planning to become a project manager, you don't need to now stress yourself again. Opportunity you've had now is to hear a straight place to start. Once you start that thing, in 3 months, I tell you, you can be confident to take your PAPM exam if you need it, or even like maybe start preparing for your agile or scrum and the likes. So that's you have to know the right platform to learn. There are many other program management or project management platform there. They will probably confuse you, or they're probably advanced stage. They're not for beginners, So you just start and be confused because they'll start using terminologies that you're not used to. And like, what's this? Is it this? I thought they said it's just about managing people. But it's because I've given you now, even if you have never done anything about management in your life before, like a course, but you have that skill and you want to build a skill there. With the course I've given you now, if you start it, you be getting interested every single day you watch the video, because the way it will be moving, you'll be feeling it. You'll be like, so this one I didn't do right when I was arranging something for my class party and all that stuff. It will be so natural for you. And that is why you have to get the right platform. After that, you get a mentor or someone you can look up to in that your choosing field. Then the third thing to do is to get involved in projects. So some of us, when we this is not only for project management now, even if you are learning development, there are so many people that want to build website, but the first thing you want to do is to make money. Why not use your opportunity to probably even do something for someone for free, to just see what a live project will look like, or join people, volunteer to join people to build a project. For example, Judy Jakoko probably does not have a website, I'm not sure, but you've learned web development, they've been able to help you, you had a mentor from the community. Why not try to build a website for the community? Even at doing that, they might even be able to help you. Oh, you didn't do the website well. This is what you should have done. You learn it. And even when people are asking you that, when you go for interview, what have you done before? You can proudly point to your community website that I built this thing for a community, and I did it alone, or I did it with some other people, whatever the case may be. If you're doing it with other people, they'll say, oh, you already have teamwork, experience. That's without even getting a job. You already have a experience of working with people, and they'll ask you, what exactly do you do there? Did you do there the front or the back, or which part of the website did you build? So you'll be able to say that. And the fourth thing is to join community. I've even made it the first one already, but of course, in case you've gone through stage 1 to 3, stage 4, now you have to do that. Then number 5 is to review your skill. Review it. So if you build the website, you give it to more technical people that have been in the field for a while. Oh, do you think I did this very well? Did you think this? And they'll give you feedbacks because feedbacks makes you better. Like Eunice said, she said when they tell her you're not doing this well, your codes are not structured well, and all that stuff, it makes you better. Just like a friend of mine, when he was learning Python, he told me that when he took his first Python to a mentor, because I started like a Python community in my school, so he met that person in the community, and then that was like 5 7 years ago. So it was like now is someone that is working with a company in UK now. This person I'm trying to refer to is that when the mentor checked the the website, the code rather, she reviewed the code. She was like, oh, you did well, but maybe the code were they were in 70 lines of code or whatever, really much. And with the lady's experience, she reduced the code to like 15 lines. And he was doing the same thing that he wrote for 17 lines of code. That changed his life because he like, literally learned that it's not that deep, right? He learned how to make his work, more strong. If it's somebody else, you'll probably be screaming and like, why will you reduce it? It won't do what I want it to do. I've had that kind of student before, because I also train kids how to code. And when I was trying to like reduce this code, like okay, this Python code is too much. Take this away. This would have actually, sorted out these 5 lines. It's like, wait, oh, Miss Ru, don't take it away. I wanted to do this. I wanted this. I'm like, just hold on. When we finished our lunch, she saw that I was doing the same thing. Although because of he's a kid, and he's so dogmatic to it, he still wanted to like express that long lines of code, and I understand him. So I had to like allow him. But at the same time, he adjusted to some things because he didn't see it from that angle. So getting people to review your skill will help you become better at what you do. It doesn't mean that they are your boss because many people are scared of I don't want person to boss over me and all that stuff. Sentiments will not get you to that great place you want to get to. So you have to be open. How can I get those courses on Coursera? I would attend to you. Okay. Already rushing me. So let me just quickly wrap up. Then last thing is to get internship. And in your on the process of trying to be what and who you want to be, make sure that your please, can you still hear me? Okay, I think you can because for next time that I have 5 minutes more. So the best of trying to be who you want to be, make sure that the only mistake you can make is not the only mistake you can okay, let me change the way I want to say it. So make sure that you're asking for help because the only mistake you can make is not asking for help. That was said by Sandeep Jha. When you are learning anything in life, it's not even only coding or tech or whatever. Even if you are learning how to sew clothes, to cut the clothes, if you don't ask for help, you might do it wrongly, and that might be the end. You might never be able to. I think the tailoring was even like a perfect example because that might be the end. You might never be able to fix that thing again. You know, even if it will be fixed, it's still that person that have had several years of experience that will be able to help you fix it. So don't make that mistake of not asking for help. Never stop learning. Like that is where progress come into because you are not trying to be perfect. That does not mean that yes, since they've said that we should just not be perfect. I think I've known it. So in my progressing, you go to another thing. No, don't stop learning that thing. Even HTML, CSS, that looks like something that people have been writing for 20, 30, 40 years ago. Every day it changes. Have you not seen developers, big developers saying that today I just Googled how to do this thing in HTML because they probably they've stopped using HTML for a while and it will leave them. So what he simply means is that it's not that those people are doing something wrong, they're engaging in something else because they're advancing. But when they needed HTML, they had to go back to it. So it simply means that if you stop learning something, it leaves you. That's just the truth. Once you stop learning something, it leaves you consciously or unconsciously. You have to pick it back. So but make sure you're learning something. That's just it. And make sure you're advancing your knowledge. And stop self-doubt. I don't want to talk much about that because I think the first speaker talked about it, and even the second speaker, I think I heard them talk about it. So some benefits of diving into tech. So in case you don't know the benefits you would have diving into tech, in my 2 minutes, I'll be wrapping up. This is my last slide. The first benefit is you want to make a difference. The second benefit again is because you're going to have brilliant benefits. There are so many benefits in tech. Example, people have opportunities to go and work outside the country, work remotely, even while you're here in Nigeria, or wherever you're watching this video from. You can work remotely. A lot of people now they are working for companies in China, India, UK, US, Japan. and so many other, even countries that are in normal day, they probably will never hear their language, or they probably might never find themselves there. Because of tech, people now have opportunity to do that. So opportunity is there for all. Work anytime and anywhere. I've said it. Low cost of education. When you dive into tech, that's when people can take a master's degree online without getting to a physical university, and you have a degree from that school. A lot of people have degree from Harvard University and they've never ever been to Harvard. They don't know what Harvard look like. So another benefit is communities and group. So I think with a few points of mine, I've been able to let you know that tech is not just programming. That's the first thing you should know. And you're not going to tech because of your friend. You're not going to tech because you want money. You should have a purpose to why you want to go into tech. And when you want to do anything in life, always know what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how to get it done. So this is where I come to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for listening to me. Yes, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Temiloluwa. Thank you so much. I gained a lot, a lot, a lot. Thank you so much. That's very wonderful. So if you have any questions, please let's drop our questions in the comment section. Okay. Someone asked a question. Okay. How can we get those courses on Coursera? I think she has answered that. If you type it on Google, just type Coursera, just type project management by Coursera. So we see it there. It's there. That's the only question I can see here. Or is there any other question? Yeah, the link is already in the comment section. The link to Coursera. Professional certificates. Thank you very much. If you have questions, let's drop it to be answered before the end of the event. Question time. If there's anything you want to share with us too, any addition, can talk. Yeah. All right. So since there's no question, no comments, I appreciate everyone for staying with us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. And then note, we will be hosting an IWD get together and meet and greet soon. And the date will be communicated to us later. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Thank you. So Nancy,